Good evening, truck and tractor pool fans. What a show we have for you tonight. Look at that, already 710 people in here. Unbelievable. I'm just kidding, Dave. We got Klub Kendra with us tonight.
Dave's like, I'm out.
It's going to be a pretty cool show. We're gonna take care of Shippensburg results and for one night, as night number 2 was rained out, unfortunately. And Kendra's going to cover some interstate pulling at New Centerville, Pennsylvania, and that's out in the out the way there, Somerset. Rockwood, right outside of Rockwood.
That word.
Yeah, that word. But tonight we have a very special guest, Mr. Dave Moore. How's Dave Moore this evening?
I'm excellent. Well, except the temperature. It could be a little bit
the
cooler.
temperature sucks.
But it's not bad in my shop with the air conditioner on, I can tell you.
That's right. 10-4. So anyway, Dave, of course, we'll be discussing the Boonsboro, Maryland event that's coming up this Saturday at 6 p.m. And we're just basically, we'll get these results done. We'll let Kendra, we're going to cut her loose first. And any questions, just feel free to jot them down there, and we'll get to them as soon as I can once we turn it over to Dave. So go ahead, Kendra.
All right. So Interstate, like JR said, was out in New Centerville 2 nights. All things I heard were good. They did have live stream, had a couple issues with it. But we're going to get that kinks worked out of that. So we'll just dive right into it.
Up on your tongue, Kendra.
I know. I'm still in work mode. I'm still in number mode. I'm not into words yet.
Dave, you're going to find out, Dave. I'm going to pick on her quite a bit. So.
Okay.
So we're going to start the results with the 7,800 mods. Unfortunately, quite a few of them were not able to make it, but we did have 4 on hand. Taking the win was Jason Weichel with the Untamed Ford at 327.46.
And that was a points event?
It was a points event, yes. So Ian Eriker took second with Unstable at 308.88. Andy Forrester driving Don Haley's Nonsense at 307.87 took third. And rounding out the class was Dale Forrester on Don Haley's Track Fever.
Man, where's my Mopar guy at, man?
You'll have to ask him.
Man.
Remember, I was in Shippensburg. I don't know what happened down there. Then we went into the 8,500 mod turbo.
You didn't give the last distance. I interrupted you. I'm sorry. Andy Forrester.
No, Dale Forrester driving Don's Track Fever at going 298.05.
One and the same.
Yeah. I'm sure Andy does not feel the same now. Then we went to the 8,500 mod turbo, 9 tractors on hand for points, and then we had 2 exhibition hooks. Jason Forrester did the driving for Vern Zerby's Z unit, taking the win at 321.76. Scott Kiskadden driving Bull Ride at 318.23 was second.
Hey, Grove's in the house.
Yeah, Yankee Malott took third place with Dr. LZ at 306.58. Fourth place went to Philip Price driving the Antrim Tantrum at 304.38. Fifth place went to Jason Forrester's Papa Smurf at 302.93. Sixth place went to Justin Latour with Addicted at 297.95. Seventh went to Eric Eberhardt with the Hammer Down at 279.63. Eighth place went to Corey Eberhardt with the Gold Edition at 272.73. And rounding out the class, unfortunately, was Mark Miller with the Mighty Mouse only going 26.42. The 2 exhibition hooks were Ryan Miller driving the Amish Ingenuity. His distance was 242.41. Not bad with a Pro Farm and a mod turbo sled setting. And the other one was a light limited, Dayton Custer driving the Operation Blue going 166.15. There was 5 6,200 two-wheel drive trucks on hand. Eddie Ocker with the 8-up, the undefeated 8-up at 291.53. Now, if he loses next week, he's going to say it's all my fault because I just called him undefeated.
Right.
Second place went to Ian Eriker with the Village Idiot at the Village Idiots. He is the Village Idiot at 284.89. Third place went to Chelsea Forrester with her Spartan T-Bucket at 282.9. Fourth place went to Andy Forrester with Turn Back the Clock at 255.23. And Dale Forrester rounded out the class with the Bandit, going 246.66. And the last interstate class we had out there on Friday was the 4,500 small block trucks. Taking the win was Jared Stoner with the now named Ford F-250 that he calls Silverback, going 305.73. Second place went to Travis Lipsy with the Stomper at 296.71. Third place was Austin Stoner's Analyze This at 290.86. Fourth place was Chris Lipsy with One Bad Bow Tie at 289.96. Fifth place was Tyler Shives with the Bootlegger at 286.60. Sixth place, here you go, JR, was Derek Dice with the Mopar Magic 2. There's your Mopar at 285.05. Seventh place went to Denny Shives with Alcohol Abuse at 279.57. Eighth place went to Ryan Varner's Mountain Maniac at 277.76. Ninth was Sam Hassler's Junkyard Dog going 275.12. And rounding out the class was Denny Stoner's Making Tracks at 257.83. You want to go over Shippensburg Friday, or you want me to keep rolling?
You're on a roll.
All right. So then we go back into Saturday night and did it all over again. We'll start with the 7,800 modified. Sweeping the weekend was Jason Michaels Untamed at 323.46. Second place was Ian Ericker with Unstable at 306.64. Dale Forrester with Track Fever went 292.82. And rounding out the class was Andy Forrester with the Nonsense, 289.04. Oh, Dylan. He's such a good kid. He was my second favorite coach pitch player. Only, of course, behind my nephew. Next class we'll go into was the 4,500 small block trucks.
Where's Norm fit in all this?
I said coach pitch ball player.
Oh. Well, he is small enough.
Yeah. No, he didn't make the team. He got cut.
Oh, my goodness.
Second place, we'll start over again. Tyler Shives took the win on Saturday night with the Bootlegger at 317.78. Second place was Austin Stoner with Analyze This at 316.04. Third place was Chris Lipsy with the One Bad Bow Tie at 309.37. Fourth place was Jared Stoner with the Silverback at 307.45. Fifth place was Ryan Varner with the Mountain Maniac going 305.80. Sixth place went to Denny Shives, Alcohol Abuse at 298.95. Seventh place went to Derek Dice with the Mopar Magic 2 at 295.44. Eighth place was Sam Hassler with the Junkyard Dog going 288.37. Denny Stoner was ninth with the Making Tracks at 288.04. And rounding out the class was Travis Lipsy with the Stomper at 275.07. On Saturday, we actually had 6 two-wheel drive trucks taking the win again. Eddie Ocker with the 8-up at 305.39. John Foley joined and got second place with the Blessed truck at 297.87. Third place was Ian Ericker with the Village Idiots going 292.95. Fourth place was Chelsea Forrester with the Spartan T-Bucket going 290.33. Fifth place was Andy Forrester with Turn Back the Clock going 262.37. And rounding out the class was Dale Forrester with the Bandit going 261.40. Then we went into the 8,500 mod turbos. These guys pulled after the rain. Taking the win was Yankee Malott driving Dr. LZ going 300.82. Second place was Tommy Williams with the Firestorm going 300.50. Third was Vern Zerby driving Z Unit going 295.59. Fourth place was Justin Latour driving Addicted at 294.49. Fifth place was Scott Kiskadden driving Bull Ride at 292.66. Sixth place was Eric Eberhardt with Hammer Down at 291.97. Seventh was Jason Forrester with Papa Smurf at 268.86. Eighth place went to Dakota Grove doing the driving on Antrim Tantrum at 190.84. And rounding out the class was Corey Eberhardt with the Gold Edition going 67.70. That's all I've got.
Okay.
I'm all resulted out.
Geez, only took 15 minutes. My goodness.
I'm sorry, only 10.
Anyway, we went
There's
to
a
this.
timer.
We went to this place called Shippensburg, Pennsylvania. It was a 2-day event that Mother Nature, as it seems to normally be there, only allowed us 1 day of pulling. So we got Friday night show in. We started with the. You sure you don't want to do the first class, Kendra?
I'm positive.
You don't want to go? Okay. Well, all things aside, yeah. Uh, the 7,800-pound East Coast Diesel four-wheel drive class. Taking the win was the Grand Pickle, or we call him One Grand Pickle, Mr. Norman Newswanger with Chapter 11, 301.68. Second, James Barter with the Barter Turbo Service Ford Cummins powered at 300.91. Third was Carl Ankowicz with the Living on the Edge Dodge at 300.30. Fourth, Sam Heimbach, or Samantha, she goes by Sam. That is a 3.0 truck, and that is the Heimbach Diesel Ford at 296.62. Fifth, Leroy Walker, another 3.0 truck with Dreams Happen, a Dodge, 292.46. Sixth, Kervin Zimmerman with the Midnight Train at 285.62. Seventh, my hero, Jeremy Denson with Two Disturbed with his Dodge Cummins powered at 285.09. Eighth is Tom Hassler's Twisted Addiction Ford, 76.74. He has found his problem with that, and I'm sure hopefully we'll see him at Boonsboro. If not, we'll see him at the next event, and I'm sure it'll be a blast down the track for him. And finishing ninth was Chuck Dutter with the Common Hooker at 0.23 with mechanical problems, which he did have fixed for Saturday night, but unfortunately Mother Nature said no. Next up, we had the 8,500-pound light pro stock tractors, and taking the win is one tough running Ford called Fast Ford, Matt Smith, 309.91. Second, Jeff Michelacci with the Demented Case IH at 306.14. Third was Colton Zundel with Still City Smoker, 302.74. Fourth, Hometown Hero, Mr. Fred Hope, with Never Enough, his case at 300.96. That is a defending champion in the class. Fifth was Sydney Up with the Storm at 299.14. Sixth was her father, Kevin Nutt, with Rolling Thunder at 294.65. Seventh was Mark Smith with the 8700 Ford, no name on that tractor, 294.22. Eighth was Shane Scott with the Blue Unit, New Holland, 294.02. Ninth was Justin Martin with his Case IH 7220. It used to be called What You Looking At. I'm not sure if that's still sticking or not. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
286.22. I don't know. They didn't have it listed that way at Keystone either. 10th was J. Harriet Meredith Jr. With the Meredith Agitator at 279.71. And rounding out the class was Matt Smith with Black and Blue, New Holland, at 278.58. Class number 3. What a big class it was. The 6,200-pound modified four-wheel drive trucks. It's good to see a good number of these trucks out. It really was. Taking the win, Greg Hitchcock on shaky ground, a Ford at 299.44. Second was John Dugan, that close to getting that first win for him, with Damage Plan at 296.43. Third was Will Hitchcock with the home record at 296.36. Fourth, Dean Hitchcock, Grounds for Divorce. That's another Ford at 295.32. Fifth was Billy Kramer with the Contender, the Chevy, at 295.26. Sixth, Wayne Tapscott II, the Tasmanian Terror 2, at 294.96. Seventh, R.B. Muller, To the Extreme, a Dodge, at 292.83. Eighth was Troy Nails, Killing Time, at 290.86. Ninth was the Wild, Tammy Ziegler, with the Iron Butterfly at 289.93. She has taken over the driving chores this year. 10th is Wayne Tapscott Sr. with High Anxiety at 288.58. 11th, Jacob Kramer with Supernatural, 287.40. 12th was Michelle Abshire, Split Decision Chevy at 286.29. 13th, Kevin Abshire with Gone AWOL, the popular Jeep of the pulling Mecca, 283.46. And 14th was Caitlin Muller with the Moeller Farm Chevrolet at 282.82. Big class, big class. Then we move on now. I'm going to see a big, proud Papa smile coming up here real quick. The Super Stock Pro Stock Tractor class. And I'm sorry I can't do it because I can't read the small writing. So I have it wrote down anyway. Taking the win. Some lady. Oh my goodness, my buddy, my buddy. Before I even go into this is the treatment I get. That's the treatment I get. Now, I'm no legend. Don't claim to be a legend. Never will be. Anyway, Tara Moore Brittner took the win with the More Agitation John Deere at 302.54. And if you don't know who that is, her dad is joining us tonight on the show. I'm sure everybody knows that. Second, Corey Hoyt with Stress Case at 302.06. Third was Davey Moore. I don't know if you ever heard of him either, but one more Deere, John Deere 7930 at 293.16. Good night for the Moore pulling team, huh?
Yep, definitely.
Yeah. Fourth was Josh Martin with Think Green at 281.18. Fifth, Tom Urmson. Good to see him come out and run with us with the Eyesore 2 International on alcohol, 269.99. Sixth was Josh Martin's That Darn Deer at 268.62. And rounding out the class, let's see, we're going to give seventh. Chris Hoyt would be a hook and scratch. They reset the sled. He did not come back. And Tom Beggar was there to run and unfortunately never made it from the hauler to the arena to pull with the Patriot. So he's also marked the scratch. And that rounded out Shippensburg. Things to work on from that event, I think. I'm sure next year we'll see. I'm sure we'll see some improvements. So, not that, it's Shippensburg.
We will.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I always enjoy going with seeing the Hopes, and they were nice enough to hold me at an RV spot there pretty nearby, so really appreciated that.
Nice enough to a couple of them to feed to all the pullers like they did with the outstanding best chicken in the world.
Yep. Smith's barbecue chicken is hands down the best you'll ever.
The best. Yep, the best.
And we do appreciate, I believe, is the Martins, Hope family, and Danny Forrester.
Shippensburg Tractor Puller, yep.
Tractor.
And there was one other sponsor. I can't remember the name.
Rittner's.
Yes.
Rittner.
Yes.
Yeah, we do thank you for that. They prepared
absolutely.
to feed us both days. And, definitely.
In the words of Chris Hoyt, there was a fantastic meal, and there just happened to be a pool there.
There you go. So. But anyway, so this Saturday, Kendra, before we cut into Dave Moore, you wanna?
Yeah, I want to get the two interstate hooks, give them a moment and a shout out here. This Saturday, there's going to be two hooks a little further south than Boonsboro. The first one will be in Jefferson County there in Carneysville. 7:00 start time. I'm going to have 3 interstate classes on hand, the 7,700 light limiteds, the 6,000 pound classics, the 8,500 wild street. As well, they're going to be having a 13.5 farm stock, 8,000 street diesel, a 6,500 open, 7,000 street gas, and their dirt drags. Then we're going to also be down at the Woodstock Fairgrounds, the Shenandoah County Fairgrounds, Woodstock, Virginia. Starting at 9 a.m., they're going to be having a garden tractor pull. I don't have much information on that. However, at 6 p.m. is when the interstate classes will start. They're going to be having the 10,000 pound Pro Farm 8,500 mod turbo, 7,800 mods, 4,500 small block trucks, and the 6,200 two-wheel drive trucks. Since this is happening before our next show, that following Monday, Franklin County Fair kicks off. They're going to be having their Monday night show of the 1850 small block minis, the 2050 big block minis, 4,500 small block trucks, 11,000 pound hot farm, 6,200 two-wheel drive trucks, as well as 8,500 wild street class. So, as always, the interstate schedule is kept up to date and out on the interstate website. So go check it out. We have all the points updated, all the results, and all that fun stuff. So now, Boonsboro.
Yes. Almost.
What are you reading?
I hate it when things don't.
Are you
There we
getting
go. There we go. I'm trying to add a flyer here real quick. Before we're going to turn the whole show over to Dave Moore here in just a few minutes. But
Wow.
we do have we do have two events coming up this weekend also at Tuckahoe during their steam and gas show. The Delmarva Tractor Pullers Association will be having a 6 mile per hour mini bracket pull on July 8th at 10 a.m. And you must be on the grounds by 9 a.m. Entry fees $30 a hook, not including championship bracket. And it's quite a format they have here. But bracket pulling is intense. Believe me, it gets very intense. It's pretty neat. So they have a show there again Saturday, July 8th, 10 a.m. And also they'll be pulling Sunday, July 9th, which I hope to be too. So that's going to be a trip from Boonsboro home for a nap and then straight to Easton for their regular antique tractor pull on July 9th. That also is at 10 a.m. So, okay, Dave Moore.
I'm here.
You are here. So we got show number 2 for the season coming up, and I know you have a host of things you'd like to tell us about it. And I think you even have a class order. So
probably before I get into that, I should tell my grandson Dylan hi.
Absolutely.
Grandson, my grandson Joe hi, and my granddaughter Catherine hi before I get started. So
there you go.
Yeah, this Saturday at the Ag Center, four-wheel drive diesel trucks, East Coast diesel four-wheel drive trucks, modified tractors, 466 hot farms, limited pro stock semis, modified four-wheel drives, and super stock pro stock tractors. We are, just so guys know, Troy is coming over Friday night. We are with the grader. What happened?
Nothing.
Oh, there you go.
We're just showing your banner. It's all good.
Yep.
Surprise.
We're going to totally redo the track with a grader because it hasn't been graded 100% level for many years. We're going to work on that and try to have it a good track, and everything. So it should be a good show. I made promises that it will be over with before 11 o'clock. And if I don't stick to it, I'm going to get hung out to dry. So I got to stick to it.
Yeah.
But what else, JR? You said you wanted me to touch on the sponsors for Washington County Tractor Pullers.
Sure.
Our platinum sponsor is Wrestley Tire Company here in Hagerstown. They are a major sponsor. They're platinum. We got some silver sponsors: D&D Truck, Jesco, Atlantic Tractor. And we drop down a little bit lower to our bronze sponsors, which is Klein Roofing and Siding, Advantage Landscape and Construction Incorporated, Sheehy of Hagerstown, AT&T, and Apple Valley Waste. And I gotta say Huber Tractor because they do bring in some tractors that we use on the track. So the Huber Tractor also is a sponsor. So. Other than that, it's $15 at the gate. Children, was it 12 and under, Kendra?
I think so.
Yes, 12.
So I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, 10 and under. I'm sorry. 10 and under is free. So hopefully the weather a couple days ago didn't look good, but each day we get closer. There's a chance of a pop-up thunderstorm, but nothing drastic. I think Davey told me it was like 20% now. So
it's only Wednesday.
Yep. In Shippensburg, I told Paul Hook if he calls it off, he's got to promise that we get an inch of rain. And by the time I got to 81, and I didn't use my wipers all the way home. Let's say a couple tenths. But
well, I'll tell you what, I spent the night there. We didn't go home till Sunday morning, and guess what?
Okay.
We got plenty of rain.
Oh, did they? Good
Yes,
for
we
them.
did.
I mean, our farmers need the rain really, really
Yep.
bad. And, I work with farmers all the time in my day job, and they need the rain. They need the water. So,
Yeah, it wasn't much after 9 o'clock. We'd have been stopped. We wouldn't have been pulling. So
okay. So that's, I don't know. I mean, do you need the class lineup now, or should I wait till Saturday night?
Just don't change it.
No, I'm not.
well, you
Trust me.
change. You do what you got to do, but that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to run the hot farm tractors. We're going to run the modified four-wheel drives. We're going to run the super stock, pro stock tractors. We're going to run the East Coast diesel trucks, semis, limited pro semis, and finish up with the modified tractors. That's the order. Changing it up almost completely opposite of what we did the last time. And it actually makes it a little better for the sled guy moving weights around from semis to mods, So he was happy with that lineup too. So that's the way we're going to do it.
And that would be an Allison sled, I do believe, would be there.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay. Very good. Aaron Allison. What about some of your? I'm sorry. Go ahead. You had something.
No, announcers is Brian Yeager and Floyd Davis. So
Good.
We're doing them both. Yep, they work really good together.
Perfect. How about some of the help there? Anybody you'd like to mention? Track out, like your.
Well, Washington County Antique Tractor Club is our tow around tractors. They do a good job. It's a lot of work. If I had a big roller where I could roll that fairgrounds flat, it would really be nice. But it is what it is. I mean, we had some trouble last time with the lighting around the scales. We're going to take care of that. The drawbars on mainly the trucks. We did drawbars on the tractors on the scales, but I didn't realize that the trucks are that much longer, or I forgot. So they wasn't really level like they should have been. So I'm going to make sure there's a level spot there, grade it out Friday night when we're there. Our young lady that sang the national anthem is going to do it again. She did an outstanding job. That little Logan boy that got his heart transplant, he's really coming along. Good. Sounds like, yeah, he's still at the hospital. No, I think they actually left him out of the hospital today, but he has to stay close by because they want to check on him, every day or so until they're comfortable. But he had a total heart transplant, and he's doing excellent. So
that's great. Fantastic.
And the amount of money and the amount of T-shirts and hats that the pullers and fans give that boy at Boonsboro at our last pull was just unbelievable. And that just shows you what kind of families pullers are and pulling fans are. And JR, I don't want to hold your show up, but we got,
it's all you, man.
East Coast Pro Pulling is very important. We're affiliated with PPL, but our promoters are important. Our pullers are important. And most important, our fans are important. Because without fans, there is no pullers, no East Coast Pro Pulling. There is, so the fans are really important. And we try to do everything we can, to entice the fans at places they can come see us in the pits. Get your picture taken with the tractors. I mean, Tara does a great job with the kids, and they're doing pictures all the time. All the vehicles. It's about the kids and socializing with the public. Because we need them. We need the fans as much as we need a place to go pull.
That's correct. 100%.
Nobody likes to pull without a crowd.
No, absolutely. And
you guys do one hell of a job. You do one hell of a job of getting people at your pool.
Well, Memorial Weekend is always, that was probably the biggest Memorial Weekend pool that we've ever had that I can remember. Because they run out of parking, and they told them to find someplace and park. And they were parking underneath the barns up around the building. They were parking everywhere, and, it is what it is. But this pool in July is a little not quite as big as it's as big as the show's as big, but the spectators not quite as many because there's a lot of pulling going on other places too, and
people are on
other,
vacations.
Yes. So we're excited. It's going to be a good show. If Mother Nature cooperates, everybody that comes to the show will get their money's worth and they'll leave there happy. I can tell you.
Good. Yeah, it's. I hated to miss the first one, but I didn't. I'll be there this time. Look out.
Right.
Yeah, don't get on a hay wagon this week or anything.
Yeah.
All right. Smart.
Just say it.
No. Hay is not in the game plan here right now. So.
It's too hot for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, unfortunately, but yeah, it's. How about polar wise? Have you got some kind of? I'm not saying I know you don't have an exact list, but idea who might be some of them coming.
JR, when I went to the meeting at Washington County there, and we added an extra class. Not all the members was for it, but I tried to explain that numbers are down, but they wasn't down at Boonsboro.
I know.
I mean, I was surprised and I appreciate it so much that many pullers came out and supported us. But you know how the numbers has been. Some places they're good, and some places are not so good. I mean, but we had them at Boonsboro Memorial Weekend. We had. I mean, I don't know that we were missing very few,
Right.
And when I added that extra class, so we'd have the same numbers because there again, the spectators, they come to see a 3.5 hour show. And if you don't have it, they won't come back, and you can put all the advertisement out there, but if they don't see the good show, they won't come back, and we can't do that. We got to give them their money's worth, so we had plenty of vehicles the last pool.
I think you'll see a little bit of a drop in the numbers just because, Empire State's pulling now. So that'll take some. There's a 3-0 hook that night also, so we'll lose a couple trucks. But I think we might also gain a couple trucks, knock on wood. So,
I mean, Henry came down, last time, and he didn't have very good luck, but he came down, and there was 3 tractors. Well, it was 4 tractors, I guess. Mod and the 3 supers there. And, he didn't have very good luck, but that was 3 tractors in the Super Pro class that we won't have this time. But I think numbers, them couple, and like you said, a couple diesel trucks maybe that might be a little bit light. But I know the hot farms are all going to be there. They like that place. They like the track. And I'm hoping the mods are, we get a decent amount of mods. I think the 4-wheel drives will be there, and I know the semis will. So I think we'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
You don't want too many there. You might not be done by 11. Then you'll be in trouble.
I'll be hanging from a tree at the Ag Center.
Unfortunately, anything can happen to take a show that should have been a 10 or 10:30 and make it 11 or 11:30 or later.
Well, the problem is
anything can happen.
It was not just one thing. It was a whole lot of little things that made it drag out. And it's the beginning of the season. Everybody's kind of just getting started, and we'll get it together. And the other thing is too that's going to make me push harder is there is a noise ordinance there, and with the mods being last, that's going to make me even push harder to. You know what I got to do. So,
I know most of the neighbors there, so I'll take care of that.
I'm all right with the neighbors on that end of the facility. It's the couple that's across the road from the entranceway that calls, and then nobody called and complained the last time at all. Even with it being 12:30, the Ag Center didn't get one call at all. So the Ag Center was happy. They seen the amount of people there, and they were happy.
We get it up here on the hill at Delta.
Yep.
New housing. The pools have been there. Gosh. When Mike started, almost 20 years ago, we started pulling there, and all these new houses, the development went in the other side of town. Ring, 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 ring.
Yep.
They don't like the noise, but our shows don't run that late anymore there. So,
well, the thing of it is, when you sit on them bleachers for more than about 3 hours, Well, first of all, you got a better bottom than I got because I can't sit on them that long. But 3.5 hours is max for people to be sitting. Okay, that's just max. So 3 to 3.5 is time to be done.
Well, I said the ideal show's 3.5 hours.
Yep.
That's
Absolutely.
Especially if you got a fare, you want to back out.
Oh yeah.
In the main way, doing spending, buying, etc. So. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So hope everything works out good. We got a little work to do at the grounds tomorrow night, and then Friday night, Davey and I and Troy's going to work on the track and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be busy the rest of the week. So.
And then Monday, you won't know what to do with yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be resting.
Hopefully it'll be raining and the farmers will be smiling and calling,
Yeah.
There you go. That's because the work don't stop Saturday night.
Nope.
The next day it can be just as busy.
Yep, absolutely.
Cleaning up and moving equipment.
And then they got the Washington County Ag Expo Fair is there the following week, so that facility is going to be busy for the next couple of weeks. So.
Yeah, that's right. Gosh, man, time's flying already.
Oh, I know. They actually, this is the year that they actually moved up a week. Normally, there's a week in between our tractor pull in July, and then before the Ag Expo starts. But and I'm not sure next year I don't know if next year's worse or I don't remember. But it'll turn around and go back and separate us a little bit. But hey, it is what it is. We'll make it work.
Say fair schedules are so confusing, and everybody gets all in a hullabaloo, and it actually worked out better this year for the East Coast schedule because I think last year it was like Monday Berkeley County, Tuesday Schuylkill, and then Union County Friday, and now we got space in between them, which pullers are grateful for.
Yep. Absolutely.
And I missed them all from COVID. I missed every one of them.
Yeah, that was a crazy week last year. Sure.
Our whole situation, this whole world screwed up since COVID. So we're trying to pulling back to the normal again, and it's coming. It's coming.
It will take time, but people, found out what life is without pulling.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Things to do, and which we all know that.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think we got the crowds back. Well, obviously, the first Boonsboro hook was,
absolutely,
like you said, one of the biggest ones. I think last year especially 2021, people were definitely still scared. 2022, I think people were still a little nervous. I would say we were at 75%.
And it's not only here on the East Coast and interstate. It's across the country. NTPA, PPL, all those. The numbers are down compared to what it was before COVID. And they're starting to trickle back. So, we'll get it turned around.
Well, and, I know a lot of people out there on the interwebs want to complain about numbers and pretend like it's promoters' faults. And it's not.
No, it's not.
I mean, I know diehard pullers that are sitting in the shed right now because of parts.
Yep.
And thank COVID. Don't yell at your promoters. Thank that ugly C word.
I'm sitting in my shop looking at Up in Smoke tractor sitting here, and the crankshaft that was ordered in July last year just showed up.
Last year.
So last year in July, they ordered it and paid for it, and it just showed up. So hopefully we can not break any of our tractors, and hopefully when Mr. Steve's done cutting wheat, he'll be able to do some pulling.
So speaking of hometown fair pulls.
Yeah. He's not going to make this hometown fair pull, I can promise. It's not quite completely tore apart yet to start putting it back together, but we're going to be working on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in here and reiterate that. We were talking before the show on some individuals, but people get angry, people get frustrated, and not all the time, but for the most part, most people understand. But you still get those few that like Why don't we have this? Why don't we have that? Where are the pullers? This show sucks because there's a lot of, hey, it's life, man. You know,
Yeah.
if
And
you
I
can
Yeah.
make it better, if they can make
Yeah.
it better, please step forward, and we'll put you to work. Simple
Yeah.
as that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Let's make it better.
You know how many years ago I started pulling? Okay. Been like,
Yeah,
I think
it's
it's
been
about
quite a while.
48
47.
years ago. Okay. 47, 48. And I've seen this in all the classes. I've seen the class grow to a big number class, and then all of a sudden it drops back to 3 or 4 vehicles in all the classes. And I've seen it. It's happened, and it's just part of life. It's, there's changes all the time. So, but it's good.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
it sucks. You know, people got to understand. You know, don't blame the association. Don't blame the fact that it's an NTPA thing or it's a PPL thing. It's an East Coast thing. It's an interstate. It is what it is. People are waiting on parts. I don't know why. It's always been, you know, the parts game has always been, you know, stretched, so to speak,
right.
time wise. But it's been worse since 2020. And
I mean,
you know,
Dave
if
Becker's
you don't
waiting
have
on
the stuff,
parts.
you can't go back. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
If I want to
Dave's
see him,
waiting on
sure.
parts, and my good friend, Robert Martin passed, but it's tough to keep 4 tractors running, and they got a farm too, and it's just, it is what it is. Things change,
And
things
That's what
change.
I was
that
getting
is
ready to say. Yep.
that
Is
is
there's
one thing.
so many life changes too that
Yeah,
people go through.
absolutely. I don't know. Hey, I'm not a young chicken anymore. If it wouldn't be for Davey doing what he does, and Tara, they both, I mean, work in the shop she was here today cleaning up and getting them polished up and ready. And if it wouldn't be for them, if it was just me, I don't know that I'd be pulling today. I love it, and I've been pulling forever, but yeah, there's other things in life too. I like spending time with my grandkids.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that was a conversation I had with somebody, pulling is one thing, like owning a vehicle is one thing, but most of the pullers are also involved with their local pulling organizations.
Sure.
Whether it be East Coast, interstate, or down to the club level.
Sure.
And it's a part-time or a full-time job.
Absolutely.
And most of the people are business owners, and you just can't make them all. Very few people can.
I can sit here and try to figure out. My good friend, who's no longer around, Earl Howard, and I took over this East Coast, and basically me and Tina run it. I have no idea how we did that. I have no idea, and we still had 2 tractors. I mean, I know I
Full-time
spend
jobs.
Yeah. I don't know how I
job.
did it. Tina and I went to every pool. Every pool, and then we had our 2 tractors to go when they hooked, and I just don't know how I did it. I can tell you this: I don't think I could do it now. I know I could. So, but I don't know how I did it. I just really don't know how. My full-time job, working in the shop at night, dealing with East Coast, every weekend, and Tina working on the books. With her working full-time job, I don't know how we did it, but we did, and I'm helping John, and she's helping Gloria as we speak, and we got board of directors now that can help and do some different things, and we're going to turn everything around. Everything will turn around. Between the classes getting fuller, the pools being better, East Coast Pro Pulling being better, it's turning in the right direction.
And all that being said, if you're listening and you think, man, this sounds fun, we are always accepting volunteer help.
Absolutely.
Good volunteer help.
Good
volunteer, and then there's people who are serious about it. So
yes,
it's not just a free ticket to get in the pools.
No. We need people that's willing to work, but they got to love it. Like I do. They got to love it, or you don't want, you ain't going to do it if you don't love what you're doing. But I know Washington County tractor pullers. I mean, every person in that club today is older than I am, except my wife. But Kendra,
Good thing
I
you
can
picked
remember. I can remember a lot of people don't know these names, but the Terry Price and the Fred Barnhart and Leon and Carl
And
Henderson.
Johnny, yeah.
You know, all them guys was members of Washington County Tractor Pullers and helped put on pools when we were at the drag strip. And
Oh
even
man, that's going back.
yes, yes. And I mean, and most of them are gone. Donnie and Leonard. I mean, there's Donnie and Leonard still here. Leonard actually showed up at my driveway the other day, first time since before Christmas that he actually pulled in there. He actually was able to get out to his truck and get in, and he made it out to the shop, and he wanted to know how pulling was going. So, but you know, the old timers, a lot of them's going, and you're looking at an old timer, really, unfortunately. but yeah, we're on the right track. We just got to keep pushing forward.
Absolutely.
And JR, with your help and Kendra, you know, you guys doing this deal on YouTube, and I mean that's stirring people up, getting them interested in coming. You know, I mean that's what it's all about. You got to get people involved, and
Absolutely.
There's good things out there.
We just started it for fun. I did 13, 12 shows, and I had Kendra on one time as a guest. Just said, bring us some interstate news or something, you know.
Sure.
And he hasn't gotten rid of me since.
Show 13 on, she's been here, you know. So
right.
And all I've heard about is damn pickles. That's all I hear about is the damn pickles.
Well, we could talk about a bus ride going to Fort Wayne, Indiana, JR.
Oh boy. Fun.
That was interesting, wasn't it?
We've had some good times, we really have. I was just telling a story. I was just telling a story at Shippensburg. I forget who I was talking to. Oh, it was Andy King.
Okay.
You had the bus, and I had my first Class A RV, and then Stu and Donna was in their hauler.
Yep.
We'd climb a mountain going up 15, get down the other side, and we're going to CB radio. I don't see Dave. You better slow down. So we'd pull over and stop. A couple minutes later, here comes the old green and white bus. Down there. We passed him on the next mountain. We get on the other side and pull over and wait on him again. It's just little stuff like that. You know?
It wouldn't go very fast, but it got me a lot of places. So you know,
absolutely.
You know, but I tell you, that year we went to Fort Wayne, Indiana, when it was so cold. I think that's the coldest place I've ever been in my life.
Oh my Lord!
Fort Wayne, Indiana. Oh my God! To the Winter Nationals out there, it was cold. You know,
I never thought I could ride in something so cold. And that bus was cold, Jack.
Yeah. Yeah, you're talking about when all of us hooked up, we went up to Strawberry Fields there for Dan Bogue for his pool there at Strawberry Fields.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the whole line of us, but I had somebody has to pick up the tail end.
You know what? Wayne Tapscott was along with us too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wayne was tagging along too.
I had a little DT 466 in that bus. I mean, that's all I had.
Yeah.
But
that was kind of
but anyhow.
Hello, Alan from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, man. Awesome. Glad to have you. Glad to have the show, man. But yeah, it's I was just sitting here thinking. I mean, I can't count. I've been going since 1975. My uncle started taking me every Saturday to the Buck, and then I guess the video thing kind of kicked in 95, and then I don't know. I got glued.
Yeah,
I got glued and been ever since. I enjoy it.
The Leatherman boys has got some tapes. They 9mm tapes, I think, from when their Uncle Terry or. Is that their uncle? Terry's their uncle?
No, that's their grandfather.
Okay.
Yeah, my uncle, their grandfather.
Okay. The Price family's very, very big, and I can't keep it.
There's only 9 siblings.
Yeah, I know. I can't even keep Dale's boys' names straight, let alone the whole family. But Michael he's told me several times about he watches some of these videos back in the 70s, or not the videos, the 9mm tape. And And that
Yeah.
tape that you got, JR, that you did of some of the in the 70s,
Yeah.
that's the first time I've ever seen my old 4010 on the tape, a tape, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back then, we took pictures and had them sent out and had them developed, you know.
Right. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Hey, that's how I started too. Before
Right.
we got a digital camera. A long
Right.
time ago.
Right.
Gosh, I wonder. I can't remember which one that's on. Has it been out recently or?
It
I mean,
was one of the first. It was one of you. It wasn't the last one you put out. It was the one before a couple weeks ago. But
Okay.
I watched it there, and I could name off the Dale Smokers and the Brew Bakers, and
Yeah.
I just lost my hearing on my right ear here. Let me get it plugged back in. But you know, and then when they had the Grand National pool there, the Bob Williams and the Dave Stangles of the world and the Danny Deans.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, and Tommy Middleton on Tomcat and Harry Grace on Red Power or something like that. I think Red Power.
Yeah. Yeah.
I pulled with them guys. I pulled with all of them, you know, and that's back when we run the 5, 7, 9, and 12. I didn't run the 12 very much, but I'd wait up to the 95, you know, with a 5,500 pound, 5,000 pound 4010, we'd weigh her up to the 95. But I pulled against all them guys, and man, they're all my heroes, you know.
Yeah.
The Prices
Stouffer's
and the
in there.
Barnharts and the Hendershots and the Thomases and, like you said, the Stauffer brothers, all them guys. They were my heroes. I was just a little snot-nosed little brat back then. I was 16 years old when I started pulling. But, you know, I respected them guys. I learned a lot from all of them. Tommy Beggar. I remember Tommy
Oh,
Beggar
Tom.
coming in.
Yeah, Tom blowing black smoke. Yeah.
Yeah, he
And his
came
brother
in one
Paul.
time at the Buck, and everybody had to go to the loading dock because nobody had roll-off trailers in. But he come in the gate, and his chain binders was already on the snap, and his tractor was rocking back and forth like 2 feet. And everybody, why didn't it just roll off the truck? You know what I mean? But yeah, Tommy was a card back then too, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
So
his brother
but
Paul.
anyhow.
I think his brother Paul was on one of the last 2 videos I put
Okay.
out from that old set. It's a 75 to 84. 70. It's actually 75, Mike. 75 to 84. DVD.
You know, Lloyd McVeigh was on that one picture, and I was telling Dylan who they was, and he said, "What's that tractor, Pat?" I said, "Super Banana." What? Yeah, I said that's Lloyd McVeigh's Super Banana, 426 Hemi with turbos on it. Yep.
Yeah, and the Ralph Banner on that twin, he sets between the engines.
Yep.
The innovation back then was crazy.
And you talk about
Charlie,
Tom Emerson. I mean, he was on a 560 at the Buck.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Tom's actually going to try to make Boonsboro, by the way. I asked him. He couldn't make Shippensburg Saturday night because he had other arrangements, but he said if a tractor didn't get hurt on Friday night, he was definitely going to try to make Boonsboro. So, you know, Tom pulled back in them days too. I mean,
yes, he did.
You know,
yes, he did. It goes on. There's a tons and tons.
Oh my goodness, I'm not telling you. You know, it's funny. Luke Gladhill has a new hot farm tractor now, and that a lot of that tractor was dropped down from the Alfred Wiles to Coleman Wheatley to Alfred Wiles to Todd Went deal. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I don't know if you knew that or not, but that's Luke's tractor, and I think he was up at Garrett County, wasn't he, Kendra? He run in the pro farm class up there.
Yep. Yeah, yep. I think they have a new tractor they're trying to get back out on the circuits. So.
Yep. So he's going to be at Boonsboro. So
good.
And then the red tractor that left here Sunday morning, he's not going to make Boonsboro, but I think the one down there at Greensboro, he's going to try to make Greensboro. So that'll be another hot farm tractor. So that's going to be a big class.
Yay. Competitive.
That class is happening.
Yep.
A lot of colors.
Absolutely.
A lot of colors. Very competitive.
Yep.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Sorry if I talk too much.
No.
That's what people love. Right there.
You get me started on the history of tractor pulling in.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to say this again. I've said it a million times. Bill Grove, I don't know if he's still in here or not.
Yep. Oh, okay.
Bill Grove and I and Dwayne Martin's got quite a collection of older photographs they found
Okay.
in a dresser drawer that come from an auction.
Wow.
He, all this reporter's photo stuff was in there,
Wow.
and I've got every photo that he scanned and sent and put it on a drive, little
Sweet.
USB drive. I put them in my computer for a classic show. We just might bring you on too with that. And I'll just turn
Yep.
you and Bill Grove loose, and I'll just start showing pictures, doing my job while you guys are talking. and Dwayne, of course. Dwayne is 100% pumped for that show, and we still
Yep.
haven't done it yet. We're going to.
So he did a lot of research to figure out all
Yes, he
that
did.
kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So
You know, like what's the odds of buying a piece of furniture at an auction and getting all that stuff?
It used to be back in the 70s at the Buck. They used to, or not the Buck, but Pennsylvania Tractor Pullers would do a pull-off magazine.
mhm.
And I got all of them from 1975, somewhere in there. And I got them stashed up in a box here. Mike Walker keeps wanting to stop by and goes through all my stuff.
I had a
Sometime-
huge bag here. Mike Walker's got them right now
Yeah.
of those pull off.
Yep, absolutely. I remember. I don't want to talk too much. But we decided to have a FFA tractor pull at Boonsboro High School. I want to say it was in '75, roughly somewhere around there. And I went around and got sponsors and had Terry Price and them, Joe Bell, them guys, Fred Barnhart, all those
Joe
guys
Bell,
came.
man.
And
Yeah, Joe Bell. I've seen him pull. Yeah,
Joe
I
Bell,
know.
yep. And then Eddie Harmon came over, and Glenn Darnell came up, and it was a
Darnell.
very nice deal. And when I went to school Monday, all you heard about was Deer Power, the Streaker. They were naming all these tractors. Everybody, they
Yeah.
didn't even know who they was, but they remember the names, and it was pretty exciting. That was probably the first school tractor pull at that time that ever happened. And I think Denny Price and I'm not sure who all was involved to put it on, but it was a good, and all of them guys helped. Joe Bell, the Leggett's, the Don Thomas's, the Prices, they all helped and made it happen. So it was a good deal.
Another name, kind of sort of out your way, was the Barnsleys. Ivan
Paul
Barnsley,
Barnsley,
who
Paul and Ivan.
I am
Yep.
friends with Ivan on Facebook, and I tagged him in that one video there that had he was on his modified in that one last
Yep.
couple. I haven't heard anything back to him. I just got a thumbs up, so I'm hoping he will.
They were good guys. They were very competitive, and I'm trying to think the name of their tractor dealer. I can't think of it right off the top of my head.
No,
But you know, like
sure.
Bill Albany and them that used to pull in Pennsylvania, the Giddy Up, was it Giddy Up Go? Or,
Yep.
and then you had
Giddy Up
the
Go.
Mighty Mouse tractor. I don't know who had that Mighty Mouse tractor.
Oh, I think his name was Bill Grove. If I remember
Okay.
correctly. Don't forget about Go Get Him Daniel.
Yep. And then you had Landis's grandfather, Don's dad. I
Yep.
mean, I could go on and on. I mean, if I seen them, I could name them. We were watching them down at Davy and Kelly's, and I was standing there. That's what it was. I was standing there out on the deck, and we were watching that video, and Dylan was standing beside me, and I was naming. And he said, "Pop, how can you remember all these guys?" I said, "They were family one time a day, buddy." And then they was. I mean, it was crazy.
Pulling was a lot different then than it is today.
Yeah.
Everybody knew everybody. Everybody associated with everybody. It's a whole different scenario. Young Kendra.
Listen,
Back when this is hilarious. We started I started the Forester Nationals. I started I got to get back to putting some of them up on the channel. I forget what year it started. It was a 10-year run.
it probably started mid
How old were you,
90s.
Kendra? How old were you, Kendra? You were pretty young.
I was 6 when Dad made Johnny Law. When Dad and Dale started Johnny Law, that
wasn't his question.
when Forester Nationals. Well, it would have been around that time.
His question was, "How old are you, Kendra?"
Oh, I'm 33. So
Okay.
yeah,
All right. Nothing wrong with that. That's for sure.
no.
I remember the first one I recorded there. I was in the back of Jimmy Maritz's pickup truck filming that. And I thought, what a crazy idea this is. And it really, I mean, it ran for 10 years. And It really just got out of hand for him. So many people.
Got too
You know,
big.
It's huge.
But back in the day, there was smoker tractors and modified tractors. That was it.
Mhm.
There wasn't 4-wheel drives. There wasn't twos. There wasn't semis. There was smoker tractors and modifieds. And I remember we were at the Buck one night, and a couple guys got to arguing about unhooking their gooseneck and going out and hooking to the sled. So I don't know if that's, and I don't remember the year. I don't remember the year, but
that's one of my favorite stories that was often told at the farm on Saturday mornings. Was when one of Uncle Carl's boys and Dale got the bright idea that so Dale's dad, Terry Price, and Carl Hendershot, they both bought brand new pickups, and both their sons were like, they're going on track. And they said they were sitting in the stands. I think it was out at the drag strip. They were both the fathers were sitting in the stands, and where they're like, and next up is Lon Hendershot. So that's
right.
You talk about
I'll never find it. I got a picture on my cell phone. I'm sorry. Yeah. The year that Luck and Bill bought his tractor back, Black Magic.
Yep.
Jeff. We were up there. Of course, me and Greg and Melody always went to Summit Station together.
Yep.
And I got a picture of those two talking in the pits by the car. What a classic that is to see. Bill used to drive for him. Would drive for other brother sometimes, and who passed away. But I gotta find that picture and add that to that show.
I'd love to be able to do. I call it the old timer show. Like Mike asked me to help him and do it there at the Buck, and he basically signed a contract with them, and I basically did all the other work involved in getting the guys there. But I would love to do that again somewhere, and I got to figure out how to incorporate it in. But we'll figure it out. It might not happen. Probably not going to happen any more this year, but sometime next year, maybe next year we'll do it. Been talking to the guy that runs the Beast of the East.
Matt Balmer and Dwayne.
Matt, I've been talking to Matt quite a bit about a big show up at Lebanon, and I don't know if
wait till you
that
go
would
there.
be the place. Oh, I know. I've actually got pictures. I got more pictures of Lebanon since they changed it, JR, than all my grandkids. I mean, them. What's the boys there that help at Lebanon Fair? I can't think of their names right off the top of my head.
Oh, the fair.
Yeah, Grumbine, Darren Grumbine.
Oh, Darren Grumbine. Yeah.
Oh, he has sent me pictures of. Yeah. Well, they called and asked questions too about moving the scale pad down, and are we going to do the wrong thing? And I said no. It actually would help moving it like halfway down the behind the new grandstands. That would give them more room at the starting line at the scales to get across, because you know how it gets a little tight up there now. Mm-hmm. Where the registration trail is. So. And Lebanon is everything's downhill to the staging to the starting line, and it's just they got unlimited amount of room. It's just a nice facility, but Darren's been sending me pictures of lighting, the grandstands, and how they did everything. And it's going to be it's definitely a nice deal. Definitely a nice deal.
It is, and when they get that announcer's tower built, because you get other pullers are registered there too.
Yep.
Shows and stuff.
And that's going to be on the new grandstand side, the announcer's tower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on the pit side now.
On the pit side, yep. Yeah. I wanted announcer's tower at Boonsboro, but with our regulations, it's got to be handicap access. So you got to have elevator in it and all that. But I guess Pennsylvania's a little bit lenient than Washington County, apparently.
Imagine that.
Yeah, imagine that.
Maryland is Maryland.
Yep, absolutely.
I was very impressed. The filming areas for me on the pit side. The pit side is more level now in front of the grandstands, more room. Instead of standing on a hill, it's pretty level. And it took a lot of that climb off the track at the end of the track.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
They did a
haven't
good job.
been there, but we were going up that way a couple weeks ago to go to Lancaster for some stuff, and we were going to stop in, and I missed my turn, so I didn't stop in. But so we'll see it in a couple weeks, and we'll be here in a couple weeks. And
Yeah, it's
I'm
gonna
actually going up to Summit Station to work with the track this year, JR. So I don't know if you're
Good.
working there or not, but yeah,
I'll be there filming for sure because I
Okay.
can't get help on that. And it's hard to get help in the middle of the week.
Kind of the wife and the daughter-in-law are going to the ocean, but I'm going to go by myself. But then after I told them I was going there, then they were kind of figuring on me going to the ocean. But I committed to Brensinger, Dale, and I'm going to go help them get the track straightened out because that track can be as good as any. So I'm going to help them build the track. And
When I heard all the hoop, I won't call it hoopla. I'm just going to use that word. I'm like, that's not Schuylkill that I know.
Well,
It's
and here's the problem. I'm not blaming the fair at all, but they got new volunteers. Okay. And when you get new volunteers, you just, I'm going there to help train them and show them what we can do and everything. They'll be fine. Yep. They'll be fine. It's nice to build a good track when you got the stuff to do it with. Most of the tracks just need water, and we'll be fine. But I'm going to go there to help with that night.
Bill Grove, if you're still listening, I will be calling you.
Time I said hi, I ain't talked to him for a little while. I used to
He's
call him.
probably still in here. He's just, unless he got tired.
Incognito.
I actually thought about him last night. You want to know why? My wife had hot dogs, and they wasn't. I call them Bill Grove hot dogs. So I'm gonna have to make a trip to Red Line again to get some good hot dogs. But
yeah, they come from Jerry's. Yep.
Yeah,
they are very.
They
that was
are
always
the
a
best.
huge at Bel Air.
Yep,
I don't know how
absolutely.
many he brought, but there wasn't a single one left. Ever.
Yeah, you ever eat one of them, you separate them. I can tell you, there's hot dogs, and then I call them Bill Grove hot dogs.
Yeah, they're good. As soon as they split, you're done cooking them. Get them off.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, we've been at an hour and 8 minutes.
Okay.
And I know he's still got plenty more to talk about.
Kendra's probably saying I'm the one that does all the talking. Now he's doing it. I didn't mean to take up
it's nice to have a night off.
Yeah, I didn't mean to take up all that time. When I get started, it's kind of hard to stop.
There's stuff going on real quick at Laurelton too. I've been reading your post, Chris Smith. Yeah, I've been paying attention online as well. Some serious changes going on up at the Union County West End Fairgrounds. I mean, they're moving an announcer stand, I guess, and they're putting in new bleachers and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So they're
got rid of some trees. Yeah,
got rid of some trees. Good. So there's some things coming there, and I tell you what, I was up there. Unfortunately, when Delmar got rained out, we went to Laurelton. Me and Mikey Walker, and I'll tell you what, we fought rain there. They had the track built and covered, and they uncovered the track when we knew we were good to go there, and they scratched around, and hell of a track, man. I mean, Lucas and the guys up there. Can't wait to go there for the East Coast Bowl. They do a good job there. So.
Yep.
Absolutely. What else can we talk about, Kendra?
I'm done. No, like Dave said, of course, we got to keep volunteers in, and obviously it's a good time. I mean, we sit here every week and talk about the good times we've had, and there's definitely frustrating pulls too, but it all equals out.
It all works out.
Yep.
You can only go up.
Good far outweighs the bad.
If everybody gives it a little bit, it'll work out fine. Everybody's got to give a little bit every now and then.
And like you said, it is 100% family sport.
Yes.
I mean, you look at the amount of time you spend with the people, and it ain't no wonder they're family.
Yep, absolutely.
It depends.
Hey, families
I know
fight
the person
too.
that likes to ride with me a good bit. You could bitch about it. Of Poor
Yeah,
Mikey.
like I said, families fight too.
Don't worry, he'll send it back to me twofold. Believe me. Okay, well, we won't
No.
tie Dave up. I'm sure he's got something to work on. So.
Yep,
Think?
everybody come out to Boonsboro.
Yep. Come out and see us at Boonsboro. I
Absolutely.
really
And that's-
appreciate it.
This Saturday, 6 p.m., 6 classes of mega rock and roll, man. They know how to make it happen there, and I can't wait to get there. Right, Mikey?
I wish we had an extra day or two before, but we don't. So got to make it happen.
Yep.
We'll get it.
And beyond that, I will say July 15th, because it's almost here, man. Right over the hill here at Delta, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Pro stock diesel 4x4 trucks, hot farm tractors, limited pro stock semis, and the modified four-wheel drive trucks are added this year there. So.
And to answer your question, Mike, I'm writing down with Norm. So yes, I will find it.
Before he even says anything.
No, he's in the comments there.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
I don't know what they're saying about me. You just have to tell me if they're talking bad about me, because I don't see comments.
Oh,
But
it's a good thing.
It is what it is, you know.
Bill
I'm
Grove,
so-
where are you? No, that's all good. Yeah, definitely get out there. 6 great classes of pulling. Oh,
Yep.
I see it now. Just come over here.
Yeah.
She'll be all right.
I found
Okay.
it. I just had to walk a little further.
Dave, appreciate you coming on. And
Yes, sir. Thank you, and Kendra for what you do and
Thank you.
supporting pulling and doing what you do. It's important.
Yep.
All
There's times
right.
I come on here, I'm ready to blow up, but I just gotta bite my tongue and be a little.
Sometimes you just got to walk away.
Oh yeah, you got
So-
that right. You got that right. So
All right,
anyway,
guys. Well,
Saturday 6 o'clock. Come support
Yep.
Dave and the crew. They work hard and they put on a good show. So
thank you very much. We'll see you guys Saturday night.
Thank
Yep.
you, Dave.
See you, Dave.
Yep. See you. Bye.
I'm gonna kick him from studio. That was awesome. I'm glad he was able to come on and figure all that stuff out. So I think I'm seriously going to get him back in here when I get Bill Grove in here and Dwayne, and we're going to have a hell of a show on that history stuff.
Yep.
Maybe we can have a contest between him and Bill Grove, see who knows the most. I tell you who the historian is Melody Grove, Bill's wife.
Really.
She remembers everything. Everything.
Most women do.
But I honestly, it really sucked that we got rained out Saturday at Shippensburg. I had a good time there, and like I told Paul, just maybe next year, man. I feel so bad for them guys because 3 years now, one or the other night has been rained out. So,
Yeah.
or rain shortened. It's crazy. But they need the rain. I understand that. But Shippensburg spends a lot of money. They need a tractor pull too. So. Okay. I'd say that's it. Like, subscribe, share, hit that thumbs up. And Alan, I'm sorry. I didn't even see his question unless it just come in. It just come in. Okay, that's why. On my screen it did.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Kelly. We'll definitely see you Saturday.
Yep.
Thanks for watching.
We'll be there.
You bet. All right, Kendra, I'm going to stop babbling now. So get out to Boonsboro this Saturday, 6 o'clock. Support them. Pray for no rain.
Yeah. I just checked 18% chance. I think we're good.
Yeah, it keeps dropping. That's good.
Yeah.
That is definitely good. Okay. With that said, I reckon we'll see you. Let me make sure looking at my dates here. Next Wednesday, yes. Next week is pretty busy up here, so it's fair week at Delta. We'll see you next Wednesday, 7 o'clock.
Yep. See y'all.